American Hindu temple accused of using forced labor of so-called Untouchables in Trenton, New Jersey. So this is in America. On May 11th, FBI agents visited a large Hindu temple in New Jersey to investigate a lawsuit against the temple's organization. The lawsuit claims that the temple was built by workers from marginalized communities in India who were lured to the US and forced to work for very little compensation. The prosecution accuses the leaders of the Hindu organization known as, it's a really difficult name and it's long, so I'm just going to call it by its acronym, which is BAPS. So the Hindu organization, acronym BAPS, of human trafficking and wage law infringements. According to the case, more than 200 workers were coerced into signing employment agreements in India. The workers traveled to New Jersey under R1 visas, which are those given to those who work in religious occupations. When they arrived, their passports were taken away and they were forced to work from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Their compensation was $450 per month, which comes out to $1.20 per hour, where in New Jersey, the minimum wage is like $12 an hour. The exploited workers are Dalits. For those who don't know, those are the lowest step, or they're considered outside of South Asia's caste hierarchy. They're so low that they're even outside of this hierarchy. BAPS CEO Kanu Patel told the New York Times that he disagrees with the wage claim. So this is I thought this was very interesting. The Indian Wire had a very good article on this, and if you click on that news, you can see how huge this temple is. It's palatial. It's an estate. And I wanted to highlight how they are, well, one, shouts out to the FBI for coming down on them on this. But also how people can say, like, oh, well, this type of abuse can happen in any sorts of organization. It isn't necessarily religious. Well, I would like to highlight the fact that they exploited these workers on specifically religiously related visas. They wouldn't have been able to import them the same way if this wasn't under the cover of their religious status. It's literally the nature of the visa that brought them over. It's also a good opportunity to highlight the fact that the problem of the caste system is global. Okay, it doesn't stay in India. It follows the Indian diaspora, and that includes into temples and in America, including the foundation of how the temple's even built is caste discrimination and abuse and exploitation. Do you have any? Yeah.
No, I just have a question because I was doing multiple things at the same time, so I might have missed it. How were they forced to be here?
So my understanding is that they were basically coerced into signing these documents back in India. Now, specifically how, that's not clear to me. But then once they were here in America, their passports were taken away from them.
Wow. So this is slavery then?
Yeah.
If the passport, this is basically the same way like in Saudi, sometimes they treat Filipino workers. I mean, once you take someone's passport away from them, this is by definition becomes slavery because they're there without them having a say. Like they can't choose to leave now. You have taken away their mobility. You have taken away some element of choice away from them. Becomes like, by definition, becomes slavery. So this is Hindu-based slavery in the United States.
Hey guys, if you're a fan of blasphemy and sexy Kali, like me, then that means that you probably want more blasphemous art. Well, I have good news for you. If you subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description below, then you get a free booklet of some of the tastiest blasphemous art available today. So, if you want some of this delicious blasphemy, and we're so generous that we update it for you guys weekly for free, all you have to do is sign up for our newsletter below. You can also go to blasphemousart.com/ebook. That's blasphemousart.com/ebook. Sign up with your email, and you get free gifts of this tasty blasphemy. What could be better? So make sure you sign up. Link below.
Based on the caste system. Okay.
Yeah. Caste
Wow, okay.
slavery here in New Jersey.
Right. So Rivka, you want to say something?
So you were asking some questions about coercion. I know they're paid, most of their money is paid in their bank accounts in India. So that could be part of the coercion, but they're only getting $50 in US dollars. But I'm guessing that they're also doing that because it's going to end up being cheaper for them to pay rupees and supposedly deposit it in bank accounts. So the whole thing smacks of just really very bad behavior, forcing people to work against their will, trafficking them basically to another country.
And it's really crazy to think. So some people have been stone cutters or construction workers as far back as 2012. And they are forced to where did I want to get this right? Basically they had to live like on campus. They were kept in compounds under watch from BAPS, the temple's personnel, and threatened with basically return to India if they didn't comply. Oh wait, Katie had a good question about the caste system, or not a statement.
Katie has two good comments. Both of them. I highlight the first one, and you can highlight.
Katie is saying, especially the Indian communities in Western countries. I think talking about the problem of exporting the caste system. Hindus who live among people from different cultures are liberal enough, but the ones in the communities continue the nonsense, I'll say, because that's a bad word. And then Katie continues, the lowest castes are supposed to be slaves to the upper castes, even though apologists will say servant without using the word slave.
That's exactly how mistranslations happened in Islam as well when it comes for a foreign audience. When it comes in the Quran or in the Hadith, every time there's a slave, the translation to English is servant, but they're all slave, right? And yeah, the it's not just the by the way, the untouchables, the outcasts, they're not the ones described in scripture as slaves. It's the lowest caste, right? They are the ones that are described as their karma is to be slaves to the Brahmins, right? By the way, another thing I want to point out, like the reason why Susanna is not reading the curse word is not because we're like Puritans, okay? we love to swear. For some people might be new here, so they might not understand, but it's just YouTube is very sensitive about dirty words, so we don't say it.
And I also wanted to highlight something else. So someone who is not so near and dear to our hearts is the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Modi. It should be noted that he has close ties with this organization.
Oh, wow.
And was close to one of its very like transformative previous leaders who died about 5 years ago, who really popularized and transformed this organization.
Okay. This is something interesting.
But no, listen to this. So BAPS is a global sect of Hinduism founded in the earliest 20th century and aims to, quote, preserve Indian cultures and the Hindu ideals of faith, unity, and selfless service. So I just the preserving of Indian cultures and Hindu ideals, it gives me a certain taste. It gives me a little bit of a Modi, a little bit of a BJP taste. Sorry, you were saying?
All right. So another interesting thing has happened in the live chat. Okay.
Give us the play.
No, just a small thing, right? So we have our Muslim in the live chat that doesn't like us very much, and he's like, they worship cows. Is anyone surprised by them? And he's like, not surprised. It's a polytheistic religion who worship I don't know. But it means, but it's very interesting because the person in the live chat that is trying to promote Islam, okay, Islam, he is saying that Hinduism is bad because we have found an instance of them promoting slavery, right? And to be fair to Hussein, yes, Hindu scripture has endorsements of slavery in them, but Hussein, you are endorsing Islam. Are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? Do you not know does anybody in our live chat not know how much the Quran and the Hadith promote slavery? The excuses for slavery, not just slavery, but sex slavery. Yeah. This guy, this hypocrite, is now trying to attack Hinduism for its endorsement of slavery. Amazing. The self-awareness is below zero. Below zero. Unbelievable.
And also, this comment from Bjorn made me laugh in response to Hussein. Just, at least the cows are real.
Here's another thing. What are your thoughts about the fact that lower caste vote for Modi in overwhelming majority? Stockholm syndrome. Again, we already covered this. Like maybe falling in love with your oppressors. So
ostensibly, the BJP is an anti-caste organization.
Right, yeah, and that's another thing, right? So Hindutva, BJP, that is Hindutva, Hindutva, that is BJP's ideology, goes against one thing in Hinduism, which is the caste system, but promotes a whole bunch of other forms of bigotry and tribalism. But to be fair, Hindutva is against the caste system, but that doesn't make them not tribal, right? The tribalism that the Hindutva is interested in is more Hindu versus Muslim, not upper caste versus lower caste. So the fact that doesn't mean, so Hindutva and Hinduism are very related, but they're not completely one-to-one, right? So we have the hierarchy system in Hinduism, and the tribalism is mostly based on caste system, and that is within Hinduism, but it's within the scripture, right? Anybody that says that caste system has nothing to do with Hinduism, they don't know what they're talking about. But Hindutva, even though it is based on Hinduism, it's a more political ideology than Hinduism, even though Hinduism can be somewhat political, but Hindutva is a lot more political, and the hierarchy that they're more interested in is to discriminate against Muslims, not against the lower caste.
Or just non-Hindus.
Mostly against Muslims. But the thing is that if you are a lower caste and you see a version of Hinduism that is creating a new enemy and is asking you to join them as equals against this other threat, you might feel welcome finally in this new system. You might be like, oh, this is good. I like this brand of Hinduism a lot more than the older ones, so you might love it because now there's a new enemy and a new target that discrimination is against them, and you could join these other group of people, get united in hate, and liberate yourself from being the lowest caste.
Ooh, giving me Pakistan vibes.
Yes, exactly.
And I would just like to dunk on Hassan Hussein. Where in the Quran and Hadith does it say it's okay? Does it say slavery is okay? Where is proof? I'm not even going to get into the Hadith. Sir, I will refer you to Surat Al-Nisa, specifically Ayah 24. Okay, just do a little deep dive on that. Get into the exegesis on that. Okay, it's pretty easy. That's just one.
Sahih Bukhari is filled with excuses for slavery, and you don't even need to go to Hadith to see excuses for slavery.
Like I just gave you chapter and verse where you can find it in the Quran. Okay, because I just wanted to flex. I just wanted to flex how much I know the Quran more than you.
Yes, Hussein, you should be embarrassed. You're a Muslim, and this white girl knows Islam better than you. Amazing.
Zakir Naik, Susanna. Rip Hussein. And usually I'm very Hussein.
Not this Hussein.
Not this Hussein, I'm kidding.
Not my Hussein. Wait, and
now he's gonna think that we're like
secret Shias. That's good. He's gonna burn even more. He's gonna hurt.
Hey guys, YouTube has fully demonetized their channel for supposedly hateful and harmful conduct, without telling us what we did wrong. If we get to 1,000 patrons, we will be able to keep paying all our team, our editors, our artists, without ever having to worry about monetization again, which would be amazing. Yay! So please support Atheist Republic on Patreon. Link in the description below.